This brand of dining chairs retails for over $500 each, and I was able to score a set of 5 at the thrift store for $25.99. If you love finding budget-friendly decor at places like IKEA or the Dollar Tree, I want to share with you one of my other favorite options, and that is thrifting. I'm going to share with you all of my thrift store tips and tricks, plus 4 transformations that I've done recently that I absolutely love, that I hope will inspire you to thrift and DIY this year. These are all really simple. Anybody can do them. One of these transformations only takes 10 minutes. Before we dive into the DIY, let me share with you my thrift store tips and tricks to get the best stuff. The best time of day to go is usually a weekday morning. That's when you're gonna find the most items put out recently at your local thrift store. Plus, check the thrift store after any major holiday like Christmas, for example, or when people have a week or 2 off. That's when people are likely to go through their home and donate items to the thrift store. My favorite sections to shop in are the houseware section, the book section, as well as the art and frame section. That's where I find the most treasures. Things to look for are solid wood pieces. You can usually see some wood grain sticking through. Make sure all of the joins of your pieces are nice and solid, and want to avoid things that are hard to fix like water damage or split wood. Always think about shape, not color, because usually through the magic of some simple spray paint, you can change the color of your piece and make it match your aesthetic. And my pro tip is check for coupon codes or sale days at your local thrift store. Whenever I donate to mine, I get a 20% off coupon, so then I can save even more. For this first thrift flip, sometimes you're just at the right place at the right time, and this is what happened when I headed to my local Value Village. I saw these 5 dining chairs in such a unique shape, and I even love this soft white color. 5 of these for $25.99. I know 5 is an odd number, but in my family there's 5 of us, so this is perfect. Another tip I have for you is flip over any furniture pieces you find. Usually you can find the manufacturer and where the piece was made. In this case, I could see that this was made in Canada. I could see the manufacturer. I did a quick Google, and the same brand of chairs now with a similar style costs over $500 each. So I knew immediately this was a steal. I could see a few different stains and things on the seats, so I considered reupholstering them or giving them a good clean, but I knew right away I had to grab these. So look for solid wood furniture like these chairs. You can usually tell by flipping it over. You can tell by wood grain showing through, and 5 of these chairs cost like a third of what a new wooden IKEA chair would cost. So in this case, thrifting is the clear winner. Sometimes a thrifted item needs just a good clean, and I love my little green Pro Heat machine. I've had the older model for so many years. I love this new model. I put this OxyClean stain solution and some hot water into this, and I just went ahead and started cleaning the seats of the upholstery of these chairs, and I was so happy to be able to see that all of the stains I was able to get out with my little green machine. I actually don't mind the neutral color of these seats, so I'm gonna keep them just like this. I'll leave a link to my machine down in that description box below. It's seriously a game changer if you're thrifting and you wanna revitalize some upholstery. As for just cleaning the frame of any chair or furniture, I'm just using a household cleaner, an all-purpose cleaner, and a microfiber cloth, and just wiping down all of that wood. Now, I don't know where to style these in my home, so I would love your opinion. Here's how they look in our dining room. I love how the off-white contrasts with the wood of our table and really coordinates with the rest of the off-white in this space. But I also really love how these look in the breakfast nook, again, against the wood table. I kind of like this leggier look in our nook to kind of showcase the pedestal table here. So let me know where you would put these chairs in the dining room or the breakfast nook. I am so happy with this thrift find and this really simple 10-minute transformation by simply cleaning them. This is literally $2,500 worth of solid wood chairs for $25.99. Mirrors are another fantastic item to buy at a thrift store. Often they're very expensive. They can cost hundreds, if not thousands of dollars retail. I headed to the Habitat for Humanity Restore shop, which is one of my favorite places to find furniture or donate, and I came across this 90s wooden framed arch mirror. It's really large and it was only $15, so I knew this was a great deal. I could see that the mirror was in good condition and just needed a little bit of a clean, and all the wood is in good condition as well. Now, Anthropologie used to have a mirror called the Primrose mirror, which I love. There's some other variations of this, and they're upwards to $2,000 each. So for $15 and some supplies, I thought I could try to recreate a vintage-inspired gold arched mirror. To begin, I cleaned the mirror with some all-purpose cleaner, and then I found these wood medallions on Amazon. I will link to the ones that I used in that description box below. They're relatively inexpensive and really easy to apply. I simply used E6000 glue, and I chose medallions and placed them in a way that was inspired by that Anthropologie mirror. Once everything was set, I took this to my well-ventilated garage and took some matte black spray paint I already had on hand. I masked off the whole frame and made sure it was all taped off, and then I sprayed the frame matte black. I just did one coat, let this dry completely, and now I am using Rub and Buff in Antique Gold. If you've never tried this product, it is absolutely so fun to use. It's sort of like a wax top coat, and it's a beautiful metallic finish. Comes in a range of metallic colors, but I especially love this Antique Gold one. I'm simply using a gloved hand to rub this all over the frame, paying special attention to those medallion details. You could also use a soft cloth to rub this on as well. A small little bottle like this did this entire frame, and you can find this on Amazon. I'll link it down in the description box below. Once I applied this to my entire frame, I took a cloth and wiped off the excess. Look at how this mirror turned out. This has got to be one of my favorite DIYs of all time. I cannot believe the mirror only cost me $15. It's huge. Plus, with all the supplies and the mirror included, I only spent $70 Canadian on this whole DIY. A similar sized mirror, even from just IKEA, is $130. Never mind the couple of thousands of dollars you could spend on a mirror like this. I love it on my sideboard, but it would be absolutely beautiful on a mantle as well. When I was in Value Village, I stumbled across this lamp with the rattan shade. These are trending right now, the rattan type shades, and I love using wicker and rattan in our little lake house rental. It really goes with that modern coastal vibe. Now, when you're looking at the thrift store, try to imagine the piece in different colors. You might not love the color. I didn't love this glassy green with the bright brass together of the base of this lamp, but I sure love the classic shape and the size. Oversized lamps are trending, and they can be really expensive retail. Here's an over $200 lamp that has similar lines and that rattan shade. So for this quick thrift flip, I'm just using some all-purpose cleaner, some spray paint primer, and this Stone Effect spray paint, which I haven't tried before, but I thought it'd be fun to try on this DIY. So when you're spray painting a lamp base, make sure to take off that shade and tape off any plugs and the top of that lamp where the light bulb fits in. Then you want to wipe everything down and then make sure you prime the lamp, especially if it's a glossy glass texture like this one. I'm using this primer and making sure that I let it cure for a full 24 hours, which is really hard to wait that long, by the way, but it's absolutely worth it. Then I'm taking this Stone Effect spray paint and applying this in light, even strokes to the lamp. I always find it's better to do a few light coats of spray paint rather than one thick coat. It usually ends up being a better looking finished project. I really love how textured this looks and how it certainly does look like that inspiration with this stone-like texture. Now, to revive any wicker from the thrift store, you can simply take some all-purpose cleaner, a microfiber cloth, and wipe that down. Make sure you use a rather firm hand to get into all that crevices of the rattan, and your lampshade will look just like new. My total DIY cost for this, including the lamp, which was only $10, was only around $50, and I think it looks so high-end. It's very similar to that $200 plus lamp. I'm styling it here on this modern coastal dresser that I also upcycled a few years ago in our little lake house, and I think it really matches the vibe of this modern coastal sort of beachy theme. It's also fun to style different thrift store pieces. So I have this lamp on this dresser along with a couple of ornaments I found at the thrift store and some faux greenery. Now, you might know that I'm a huge fan of finding spoon racks at the thrift store. I often find a lot of spoon racks and they're so fun to flip and use for different things. I've done a couple of spoon racks and flipped them into jewelry holders. So I wanted to try something a little bit different with this one that I found for $10. I want to try to make an entryway organizer. Here's some inspiration, and this one is $50. So I think I could make something for cheaper with this thrift store spoon rack. I'm going to spray paint this too because I want to make all of these thrift flips so easy and spray paint is so quick and so easy. I'm spraying it with this dusty rose color, but I don't like how it's making these cracks look really obvious in the wood. So I had an idea to take some leftover fabric that I had on hand. I really like this floral fabric with the rose, the green, the blue, and I'm cutting it to size to fit in those spaces in my spoon rack. Then I'm taking some Mod Podge and I'm applying it in those little spaces, pressing the fabric down, and then applying more Mod Podge on top to seal everything up. I'm using a nice matte Mod Podge because that's the finish that I want. I'm loving how this is turning out and how it's just nice and colorful and fun, and it's gonna add a lot of pattern into my entryway. Now I'm taking some little cup hooks. You can find these on Amazon or just at your local hardware store, drilling some pilot holes in the bottom of the spoon rack with a drill, and then I'm twisting those cup holes in. Then I'm taking this gold handle. This is just a cabinet handle from Home Depot, and using a little bit of cardboard and this E6000 adhesive and applying that on this part of the spoon rack. I'm gonna use this to hold mail. Once everything is dry and ready, I'm gonna hang this up here in my entryway. You can use command picture strips for this to make it nice and easy. And I love how this organizer turned out and how useful it is. You can place glasses and sunglasses in the hooks or on the cup holes. You can place mail right behind that cabinet pull. You can hang some keys off those cup pulls, and you can even hang jewelry like I've done with my other spoon racks in the extra spaces. This is so fun and so colorful, and I'm really happy I tried a different color and pattern for this spoon rack flip. And this DIY cost me only $20 because I had a lot of the supplies on hand already. Here's a look at all of these thrift flips in their spaces. I love how they look styled. I'm so happy with how they all turned out. And it really truly is satisfying to take something that someone didn't want, do a little bit of quick DIY, and turn it into something that I am going to use and love for years. The total cost breakdown, I spent a total of 165 Canadian dollars on these projects. And in comparison to the retail prices, I could have spent seriously over $4,000 retail on all of these items. So this is your sign to go thrifting, see what you can find, use some imagination, some DIY, lots of spray paint, and have fun creating something amazing for your home. If you're ready to add thrifting to your DIYs this year, I'm gonna leave this video for you to watch next right here, where I added some amazing pieces to my breakfast nook that were all from the thrift store.